Hello and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. We are on the larger time frame at the moment here on the daily Bitcoin chart, yeah, and we can see that the price is trying to form a C wave here to the downside in this white scenario. So in the white count, we continue to follow a corrective structure like this. We talked about that in detail in the last video today. And it kind of makes sense because we had a 5-wave move to the downside from the 22nd of May high. That's typically an indication we could go down lower eventually, especially if the rally from the low that happened in June is a 3-wave move, and it turned out to be a 3-wave move. Yeah, this is obviously critical. We are going to take a look at that in more detail on the smaller time frame. But in the white count, therefore, a move down into the 99,220 to 92,830 area seems very, very likely at the moment, at least. Yeah. So I explained that already earlier today, that this seems to be a very, very likely and probable pathway and scenario because we have a 5-wave move down and a corrective rally. Quite an impulsive start to the decline, which would be here circle wave C, obviously. And then it can take us into this blue Fibonacci zone. And from there, if the buyers turn up there and show an upside impulse, this might be the start of wave C to the upside into the direction of 130K. Now, a more directly bullish scenario is, of course, still the yellow one that we discussed as well, in which we already have a so-called 1-2 setup with an overshooting B wave in wave 2, which topped around the 22nd, 23rd of May, and then a C wave decline. And that C wave decline is a 5-wave move. That is also why we can consider a directly bullish scenario. It's not invalidated until the market breaks below the swing low from the 5th of June at around $100,500, $100,600. Yeah. So this is also a plausible scenario. I have to say it is a bit of a mystery how this would play out because this move up is a 3-wave move. So it would be based on the idea of some kind of a diagonal pattern to the upside, super, super messy, and therefore highly, highly speculative. But there is a support area we discussed in the previous videos, which held, which therefore keeps this directly bullish scenario alive. I would not worry so much about the microstructures and so on. It's more about the levels. What are the key levels, the key pivots, the key areas of interest where buyers and sellers could get interested? And, well, we're currently dealing here with a correction in which the price could find support in this region. This is sort of the main area to watch next for wave C of B in the white count. 92,830 to 99,227. But I will only assume we get there as long as the market is respecting important resistance levels. So we're now going to talk about the smaller time frame, and we'll take a look at these micro support and resistance levels which now matter. And depending on whatever the market is now doing over the weekend can tell us likely a lot about what the market might plan to do over the coming weeks. Now let us go to the shorter time frame for BTC, and here you can see in more detail the pattern. You can see this was a 3-wave move to the upside into the swing high from the 9th of June. So it could be just a 3-wave move in circle wave B. I just showed you on the larger time frame. We're now moving down in circle wave C, which looks impulsive, but it might take the form of a diagonal pattern. Bottom line is the direct pressure remains downward as long as we stay below the resistance area here, 108,822. Above that level, something different is going to unfold. Yeah. So what could be that different scenario? The different scenario, the other scenario, whatever, would be either the yellow count, in which, however, wave 1 in an alternative scenario formed a 3-wave move, can therefore not be trusted at all in my view. But the price held support in this wave 2 support area. So it bounced from a very, very important support area for wave 2 in yellow. Last chance, basically, to keep this yellow scenario alive. And from there, then, the third wave up could follow. But I would need to see at least a break above 108,820 to confirm this further. What complicates this even further is that we could also be in an extended B wave. I mean, what if we break above resistance and get rejected there? Yeah. That would be the blue count A, B, C. So we're just trying to find a way here through the corrective mess that we're dealing with, right? So what I'm tracking on many other crypto charts as well is this: 3 waves up in wave A, 3 waves down in wave B, and then a 5-wave move up in wave C could follow. That doesn't change anything. It would simply delay time-wise the C wave down. Yeah. So just an extended B wave can always happen, especially if this here is just a 3-wave move down and we're holding critical support. So that means over the weekend, I think it's important that the price, I mean, to keep the white count alive, right, that the price stays below 108,822. Really, ideally, it does stay below this wave 2 high. Thanks so much for watching the videos on this YouTube channel. If you've been thinking about joining MCO as a member, now might be a great time. You can use the link in the video description and apply the discount code right below it. You will get 50% off your first month of our Gold membership, and you can explore everything we offer. It's the easiest way to test the membership, see if it's a good fit for you, and get a feel for the community, join the conversation, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in our member area. Okay, because that would be a breakout signal to the upside and would then already shift probabilities towards the blue count first and maybe yellow. But at the moment, as long as we don't even break above micro resistance here, we stay below that at the moment, 105,570, there is no sign that a substantial low has formed, to be honest. But there's also not really strong downside pressure, so we might see some kind of messy consolidation here over the weekend. It doesn't make sense to try to be too precise here with the micro count. Yeah, what I posted earlier today on X is very, very powerful, I think, and people always get anxious in these corrections, right? And they try to trade every move, and they get confused when, okay, what is it happening? Well, is it now going down? Is it going up? Well, I can't tell you. I don't have a high probability setup. I do not have a 5-wave move up at the moment. It's just not there. Okay. Now you can trade the yellow 1-2 setup if you believe it goes higher. I can tell you it's speculative, but you have a very clear invalidation point, which is the low of the wave 2. That's easy, right? That would also allow you to trade the blue C wave to the upside in wave B, but I do not see a high probability trade setup. So what I posted on X earlier today, What I posted on X earlier today is exactly this, trying to help people understand how to understand Elliott Wave and actually how to avoid making mistakes. Most people lose money in trading because they see a chart and just trade it. They don't have a plan, basically. However, not every Elliott Wave count is high confidence and tradable. That's a misunderstanding. People see a count, a roadmap, and they think this is now, the market has to follow that. Nothing could be further from the truth. They are just tools, these wave counts, okay? And it's important to understand, not only to analyze, but also to understand the Elliott Wave analysis. Because if you don't understand what a high probability setup is, there's no way of, you will make mistakes. So most setups don't offer an edge. If they did, it would be the easiest business in the world, but obviously a real edge in the market is rare. That's why quality setups matter. Many charts lack clarity. That is normal. It doesn't mean the analysis isn't valid. It just means it's not actionable yet. I don't see any actionable setup really on the Bitcoin chart unless you want to trade a speculative count to the upside. Most losing streaks come from overtrading. Big mistake. If you're constantly trading low conviction patterns, results will reflect that. Biggest mistake people make is they assume every pattern is tradable. Nothing could be further from the truth. The highest probability Elliott Wave setups are clean 1-2, 1-2 structures with 5 up and 3 down in the trend direction. We don't have that at this point. So important to understand that as well. If you want to get more of these insights, kind of bit of a mentoring advice here, trading wisdom analysis, check out our X profile. That's it about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.